we are starting.
Yes.
Welcome back, Pani. And basically, I when I do some editing, okay, a
Mhm.
few parts, the highlight one that I did, most of the people are liking that highlight one, and you are one of the most viewed one,
Frankly, I haven't
one of
viewed
the most.
Shashi. I haven't watched it
Yeah,
so far.
no, it's among my own community, my friends and families who are basically they saw it is the most watched one among all the videos till now,
Oh, okay.
and most of the likes also is coming on your video. So in the first part, we discuss about first we discuss with the boot camp, okay, and then we were going to your career path, like how we started, and then we were about to discuss about your certification, and then we stopped there, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we were discussing about AWS, right? So which part of the AWS that you're working that you did in your career?
Okay.
Yeah.
In my career, Shashi, I've done. I started with AWS IAM services. That is a key
Hmm.
element, ideally, for everyone to start with.
Hmm.
I've done the IAM services. I've done the S3 services. I've done the Lambda services. I've pretty much implemented pretty much complete cloud formation stack for deployments for that was really quick. And I worked with DevOps process as well, and I worked with AWS Glue. When that time 2017 AWS Glue was introduced, so I've done
Hmm.
pretty good POCs on AWS Glue. It's one of the ETL tool in AWS.
Hmm.
And I've used RDS. I've used Lambda pretty heavily because that's where I've leveraged to build a lot of web services on based on the principles of Python to connect with Salesforce for large data transformations. When I was working
Hmm.
with Autodesk, so we have done a lot of there's a project called Time to Access, so we have done pretty good leveraging Python, leveraging AWS, leveraging Lambda, leveraging Splunk,
Hmm.
leveraging PG. I built TIPCO, leveraging pretty good systems. Like it's a good one of the great projects which I've implemented. The subscription
Hmm.
management platform for subscriber activation for Autodesk products.
Yeah. So you talked about lot of the tasks in AWS. So yeah, mostly everybody discuss about Lambda. Uh,
Mm.
let's uh, let's dive deep into little bit of Lambda functions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Mm. Yeah. So tell us what is actually a Lambda function for AWS.
So the Lambda functions are serverless functions,
Mm.
which initially AWS has a platform where when you want to build an application, let's take an example. You want to build a .NET application, which is hosting on any
Mm.
other server. So AWS provides a
Mm.
server as well to host a .NET application. But
Mm.
predominantly, when you want to integrate with AWS with any other services, which is serverless, because when you want to fetch data from different server airlines or any other weather predictions or anything, so you don't have a right connection to working as a serverless. So Lambda is a function which can talk to different kind of systems which serverless, that can support APIs, that can support frictionless kind of an activities, that can support pretty easy framework which you can support Java, .NET framework, anywhere you can leverage it, any platform you could use those functions to build an APIs, and that serves your easy purpose. At the same time, you could host that Lambda functions, or you could deploy the Lambda functions quickly and easily using Cloud Formation Stack. That is one of the great stack which I've worked on, and pretty
Mm.
much 3 to 4 projects we use Lambda heavily for connecting multiple third-party systems for very easily.
Okay. So this Google Cloud. Okay. So first it was the Google Cloud, right?
Yes,
Which
yes,
actually came into the technological sphere, and then AWS then took it up,
yes.
and AWS actually changed the whole dynamic, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was working for .NET also, we were introduced to this AWS
Hmm.
and more related to the open source API with machine learning and all.
Hmm.
So, but it was very for a very brief moment that we touched upon, and the technical shift that happened was with AWS was uh, especially with .NET, was we need to have the all infrastructure in your computer, right? We
Yes.
have to install all the stuff. So with AWS, it was giving a lot of flexibility, but somehow I don't know, something changed, and actually I moved away from .NET also. I came to Marketing Cloud. So only got one hackathon or one takeathon to be built on AWS. Okay, uh, let's move back to this boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so how do you reach out to all these people as a speaker? Like, how do you say, okay, like you came to me saying with the content builder and the contact builder, right? So how you define these options? Okay, I'll ask this guy to have take this option and let me know which one he wants to choose. So how you all went with this brainstorming of these speakers?
Okay, it's a good question actually. So, as you know, Cecile, we are in the same ecosystem, and I know you very well. I know other people very well because we are in the same ecosystem. We're helping all the trailblazers via different channels or the different dias. Where you're the one who helping with the questions and answers community, right? I know you're replying all some other questions and answers. I know your brain across marketing cloud. You do everything. I pretty good now, but it's not the way that I ask you everything. Okay, Shashi, let's do all the 70 sessions, right? So I can't ask you all the sessions. So I know the speakers little very well because I'm the ecosystem for the last couple of years, and I know what Matthews do. I know what Cameron. I know what Matt do, and all the other folks, especially Ivan and all the people. I know where they're very expertise in, which area they're very most famous and expertise. And first of all, I written all the content, and me and my team, of course, we written all the content. And so what I've done is, so with the content that what I got to know, I put the super speaker name. Okay, the super speaker would be, okay, this session I feel Manish is good, I feel Shashi is good, I feel Sharath is good, Pankaj is good, or JB is good, or Vlad is good, or CDP, some IS people is good. So I know people who are really good at the area because I've joined with their sessions and I've seen what their contribution across the platforms. I put all the names, and I have reached out to requested my team to reach out to respective persons. I requested Abhishek, I requested Prashant or Vishal to reach out to the respective concerned speakers to writing an email and then put the topic and then just take their confirmation. So we've just approached in the same way. And luckily everyone have responded positively. So everyone responded that yes, we will do it. That's where we are all community. That's where I love Salesforce, especially with number one community. And everyone are really helpful in terms of course they're doing all the great stuff across their company, but they're spending some time to teach us all the trailblazers them to upskill their marketing cloud area, right? So this is how I have reached out to all you people because we are watching you guys. It's not that we are watching.
Mm. Yeah, it happens. Like most of people, if they are not aware, like even in Trailhead, when you answer, okay, the Salesforce is actually watching you, and if there is some just to give you a example was
Hmm.
when they released this automation data view,
Hmm.
okay, for Marketing Cloud, and somebody was trying to do a query and set up some use case, okay,
Hmm.
using automation data view. He found an issue.
Hmm.
Okay, and there Matthews went and he was trying to answer it, and then suddenly the Salesforce person came there and said, "Yeah, actually we have an issue there, and we need to fix that issue." In okay, so then I understood. Okay, it's not only those Trailblazer members who are basically answering it; they are keenly watching what is being answered and who is answering.
Yes, everything, see, with my experience, I've contributed some 1,000 answers last year. This year I didn't get a chance to, or last other 2021, 22 between. I spent 1,000 answers with some good best answers as well. So I've written most of them are marketing cloud. So when you're looking at right, so uh, uh, and frankly,
Right.
Salesforce watches everything, not only for answers. They'll watch you what you're doing across the communities. They'll watch you all the work that what you're doing it. So
Mm.
we can't escape from anyone. So especially there, that's where that's where they recognize us on all the channels, right? So that's where People
mm,
really learn from us actually. So there are a lot of people coming and then helping the communities. That's where they're all looking us and they're learning from us and then they're contributing towards the community. That's where the real power of
mm.
Salesforce.
Mhm. You're giving me some like I'm feeling like you're giving some dialogue from Game of Thrones. Power resides where the man believes.
True, I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I'm not that. Uh, I,
Oh,
I don't watch serials actually. Yeah,
oh, okay. I was a very big follower for Game of Thrones
nice.
because I love yeah, politics and everything. It is very well defined, like
Yeah, yeah.
even all the everything, like every aspect of life. Uh, my favorite, obviously, not from everyone's choice, but I like Cersei. Okay, she's one of the most uh, typical person. So power is power. Okay, that you just go and watch Power and Power dialogue.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so okay, uh, so what I understood was you are reaching out to people and nobody is saying nobody is basically saying no, right? Everybody is accepting it and they are happy to basically come to the uh,
Yes.
event and speak out. That
Yeah,
is actually that is one of the best thing in our community, right? Uh, People are not shying away from accepting it and helping others.
that's right. That's right.
So. mm, Uh, One interesting thing actually, when I was going through your blog, okay, one interesting thing I'll tell you. Apart from those certification for me, yeah, it's mind-boggling. Okay, not everybody is there. What I see in your blog was okay. You have some tabs with CDP and personalization, but when I click on it, why I'm not able to basically navigate to that particular page? It is not
Because
even clickable for me.
because I've not started writing that. So once the sessions have been done and on the progression of all my sessions, I'll start writing it.
Oh, okay. So you have a pipeline
Yes,
for
I have
this
a
blog to
pipeline
be
for
written.
writing CDP, personalization, health cloud,
Mm,
and industries cloud. So I was little.
mm,
I can't say I'm little good in that areas. So I'll
mm,
definitely contribute my expertise, especially working with a lot of customers, and my bring out all my real time use cases.
Yeah, actually, yeah, this will be very beneficial also because with respect to CDP and personalization, there is no much of a content available.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I haven't worked with any project. Like I have done some POC, but writing those POCs does not help me. So if I get a chance in working in some projects, I'll definitely. I have a very good intention of writing, especially with Interaction Studio. Okay, but I want to have a hands-on, proper hands-on in a project to want to see the real experience. Okay, what things that happens, and then only I'm going to write. And I'm looking for someone. Yeah, you and few things now. Matthews has started with personalization, which I'm liking it. So this is the area actually which is very much for me a very gray area. Okay, and whenever we have like I'm able to relate like 5 years, 6 years down the line, whenever we had an issue in marketing cloud, hmm,
Mm-hmm.
we used to basically create a ticket, support ticket, and get the answer. Hmm. Now we seldom try to create a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, either we get it from community or somebody, or we can walk among ourselves and get it. But for personalization and others, we generally do the same. We create a ticket and try to see if get results. So there is a very good area where people can contribute.
Yep.
So yeah, I know because see after this also I have another conversation as well. Okay, it's going on. Yeah, yesterday too, today it will be two. So uh, let's first because see why I asked you again to join the session is okay. The whole intention of this conversation is to basically help the people who are basically new to marketing cloud or Salesforce.
Yep.
Okay, so let's yeah directly go there. Hmm? And let's dig dive there. Like let's say first start with this. Uh, what are the different roles and responsibility? Okay, when somebody comes into marketing cloud.
Okay. If someone comes into marketing cloud in sense, like if someone want to start the career in marketing cloud, or someone have already got a job in marketing cloud, which one you would like to understand more? Which one
Yeah,
you would like?
let's say you are building a team for marketing cloud. Okay, you got a project. Now you want to onboard people for marketing cloud. Okay, so how you will segregate the team? Okay, like there will be some business analysts, there will be some consultants, there will be some developers, and so on, architects and all. Okay, so how you will be in your company, how you basically differentiate the different groups, and what will be their role and responsibility with respect to the project for SFMC.
Okay. So ideally, when we started with the marketing cloud discovery, so ideally, every customer or every client, you started with the discovery process. So for a discovery process, you need a resource skill set of a marketing cloud a functional guy who knows the marketing cloud on the marketing strategy or the marketing terminology, especially Salesforce. So we're going to bring out the Salesforce BA, the marketing cloud BA, and the functional consultant if required. And at the same time, I would recommend to have a Salesforce marketing cloud architect as well. If you keep all three into the same roof, it would be easy for any project to be success and higher rate.
Mm.
Once you run the discovery, an architect will go and then design the platform based on the strategies, based on the requirements, whether how many BUs to be created, what are all the domains to be activated, whether single org or multi-org required, how many domains needs to be activated, which IP campaign that we need to design for running domain warm-up. So once the architect designed the platform, so that will be handing over to the Salesforce developer, the marketing cloud developers. If there are two areas, like there are some projects which don't require a developer, everything can be done by
Mhm.
Salesforce Marketing Cloud admin and the campaign manager, because campaign manager is the one who take the requirement from the customer, and then he's the one
Mhm.
who talk to the end client and then execute the campaigns. So he's the one who will
Mhm.
talk to the end customer to understand which kind of a campaign they want, like what kind of email blast they want, what kind of EDMs they would like to leverage, what are all the assets and all. So he'll collect all the assets as a campaign manager and hand it over to our internal developers to develop. Is there anything high level AMP script is required, or SSJs or any cloud pages? We require ideally
Mhm.
SFMC developer. And
Mhm.
if you just required a normal email blast with leveraging some normal dynamic content or anything, I think preferably Salesforce Marketing Cloud admin should be sufficient.
Mhm.
So this is what the entire and SFMC Marketing Cloud tester also would be really good. For a big
Mhm.
engagements, you want all the team members to be aligned, and for small engagements, small 2 weeks or 4 week rollout, ideally you just have one or two resources to manage the project. Yeah, an admin or a campaign manager would be sufficient.
So uh, coming to this business analyst. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
now you have a business analyst and they draft the functional requirements.
mm-hmm,
Okay, now there is a technical architect who reviews the function requirement that has been documented.
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm.
so uh, I- the sole responsibility of how the solutioning has to be done, it has to be the architect, right?
Yes.
So uh, how these both people fit in, like how they basically communicate with the functionality, you know, uh, what happens is you write a functional requirement. Okay, this is what the client, the customer is asking for. Okay, and the architect says this is not actually, feasible with respect to marketing law, feasible in the sense with the best practices.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, you can definitely deviate some parts and other things into it, and you can definitely run the campaigns or the use case. Okay,
mm-hmm.
but if there is becomes a conflict between a business unit, business analyst and the architect, how it gets resolved?
All right. So as I said, Sasi, so I'm the fan of a person who stays with the requirement gathering. So when an
Mm-hmm.
architect would stay with the requirement gathering, it gives, as I said, the project health status and the completion status would be very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume the BA design the functional requirements and then hand it over to the architect. When architect is not joins the calls, so he and she will set up a lot of calls to discuss among themselves and it a lot of time is needs to be adjusted. It has to the BA has to go to the customer to ask so many questions to get back to the technical architect. So there are plenty of things. You have to arrange some more calls with the business, where ideally business won't spend too much of time on the discovery process, where they do have a lot of some of the companies spend a lot of time, but some companies won't spend a lot of time. It's all based on the customer. But my preference would always be, would request everyone as a solution architect or a technical architect to sit with the requirement gathering process, at least 4 to 5 requirement calls, so that as an architect you confirm, you ask questions, you clarify all your doubts, and then there is no time delay, that you can design the frameworks, you can design the standards and everything, and then you can start giving a work to the development team, hand over the work to the development team. Let's assume you're not there in the calls, and you're told, let the VA complete the functional requirements. And when you sit, as I said, when you sit and start reading all the requirement, you feel like something is missing out. You're gonna put all the comments. So why this? Why not this? So what is the purpose of making this? What is leveraging? Why we need to use this kind of use case? Let's build some more other use case. So right. So it's a to and fro kind of a communication. So it'll go, and at the end of the day, it'll go on and confirm and get the understanding to be done. But it'll take a lot of time. It'll take a lot of time. That gives a negative impact to the client, saying that why this guy is not joined in the time of the discovery. So they'll say why you guys would discuss and then get the things done, because most of the marketing load customers, they're looking more inputs from our side, because they're very good at the platform. So they request a kind of advisory kind of a role as well, to be played at the time of requirements and at the time of implementation as well.
Yeah.
So I would
So,
strongly recommend, yeah,
yeah, when you say this advisory kind of a role, it's more for consultant role,
kind of a
right?
consult role, yeah.
Yeah. And the
The
other,
market,
yeah, yeah, go on.
a kind of a consultant role, like a marketing, strategy, marketing roadmap kind of a guy. Such kind of a people would be good. Like, know the platform very well. So that guy will sit with the client and then bring some brainstorm ideas together, and they'll put that into different requirements, and then let's start building it. So it's always a good idea for every customer to have that level of consultant to guide them throughout the process, for managing all the cross channel campaigns, and just to generate a lot of revenue of things. But again, consultant has to understand the entire business process.
Mm. Yeah. The other area is the testers in marketing cloud. Okay. So you prefer testers also need to know marketing cloud, or you just say, okay, this is the use case, and this you just draft your scripts and then you execute.
Yeah, it's all as I said, right? Uh, it's all depend upon your project size. So for an
Mm,
enterprise project, for a big projects, consider the big companies. So I always believe that the test is required, because developer thinks the developer ways, and the tester is the one who believes and test all the positive, negative, and a couple of other restricted scenarios.
mm,
And he or she is the one, the tester would be the one who design or test the templates, test the SMSs in a different way. So I would always strongly believe every project requires one or two testers to test the application, irrespective. They have to follow the SDLC process.
Yeah, because testing is one of the most important thing, and if you ask developers to test, okay, it is not actually advisable also, and you'll see a lot of things that comes out when you assign it to a tester and give them the full flexibility of testing it. And
Yes.
let's say, and maybe you can have a trials call before raising a defect, if that is the case, right? So that both comes to the common understanding that whether it a defect or not. Hmm. So that pain point area which I feel like trials call is one of the most important thing. Okay, otherwise bridging the gap between the developer and the tester is one of the best thing that I've learned. Mm. So let's take this conversation this way. That's what's coming. So let's say if you in Appy stock, okay, Appy stocky, uh, if you want to hire a developer, Salesforce Marketing Cloud developer, okay, uh, what do you want to look into a developer? Like if you want to take an interview, what you all set a criteria as? Okay, I want to take this one as a developer and I don't want to do the other one. If you have two different people, so how you look into that person?
Well, when I want to hire a developer, so I always look a developer have a skill set of marketing cloud admin skill set first of all. Forget about
Hmm.
script, SSJs, and all the stuff. But I look for at least a person knows how to create an email template, what kind of email templates that he can leverage, and what is a contact builder. What is a Does he know the complete contact builder and the relationships of inside the contact designer?
Hmm.
And I'll ask whether the person knows the API stuff, because developer comes with an API background, and the basic thing I'll ask, would any developer works at least a minimum of integration with Marketing Cloud Connect and an automation activities, at least FTP activities are required. And I'll ask a couple of questions at maybe profiles wise and the delivery profiles and unsubscription process. And at last, I'll come back with AMP script and I'll ask some server-side JavaScript questions, or maybe I'll ask a couple of other real-time scenarios with project-wise based. Yeah. So as a developer,
Are you are no no are you not making a very big benchmark for all this criteria? Because I'm talking about a developer, not a senior developer. Okay, so a senior developer and a developer, this will be a big difference.
because
So
yeah,
you're asking
you,
API, automation, everything. So
you,
you see, this is not justified, no?
you asked me Epistogi, right?
Yeah, Apistogi, yeah.
We asked me Epistogi. Epistogi is a boutique company, so we expect everyone to
Mm.
become, and we would hire Epistogi with this kind of skill set, because we are not a big team, right? When you ask me PwC or Accenture Cognizant, then I ask and I'll give a
Mhm.
different answer. So what is a developer? What is a senior developer? What is a technical lead?
Seriously.
Yes. See, boutique versus consulting, boutique versus big company, there are always a difference. You see. Yeah.
I
You know,
don't, yeah, but mhm.
you come from a TCS background, right?
TCS, Cognizant.
Yes, TCS Cognizant and the big
Mm,
firms. These are very big firms, you know.
mm,
So you work in a different
mm.
way. Boutique companies works in a different way.
Yeah, I understand some different way that what you're trying to say. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say some has a aspiration to work for your company, into your company. Okay, and the person is actually doing good. Okay, but you're setting such a benchmark,
Mm-hmm.
which I little hesitant, because uh, not see, not everybody will have that exposure in their 1 year or 2 years
Yeah,
or
yeah.
3 years into marketing cloud to understand everything
No, no, no,
in a
no.
go, right?
And I'll tell
Then,
you.
then it means just let me complete my thought. Okay, then it means let's say a person working in a freelance.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good developer. He was a freelancer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're looking into him, then he might be a very good candidate for you. He had
Mm-hmm.
worked in different projects in a different scopes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but what you're doing is you're restricting those people who are coming from these big firms
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have that exposure, but they are actually a good resource.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm telling you, right? So when we ask all these questions, so we will, as a person, I'll not something like I'm a person least for a rejection first of all for anyone. If I do any interview, so I'll maximum make them. If I ask all the questions, I'll get to know what is his skill set towards. If he are good at contact builder, he is good at automation, but he's not that great at SSJS and AMP script. Okay,
Hmm.
I know his
Hmm.
skill set. Out of my benchmark at 100%, so he satisfies me at least like 45 to 50%. Then rest of the things I'll take care.
Hmm. Okay. See,
So
when
yeah,
yeah, when I was basically I don't like taking an interview mostly. Okay, if
okay.
somebody asks to take an interview, because mm, I don't see from the same angle where other has to see.
Mhm,
Okay, I'm not going to go asking what is contact builder and data extension and all. I first like to understand the person first, and if he has even he is not from marketing cloud. Okay,
mhm,
because in Cognizant and TCS, what is it? There is a very big pool. Okay,
mhm,
and when the demand grows, you have to basically full the demand.
mhm,
And uh, when I if somebody asks me, Sasi, can you please take this interview? If they come and ask me and request me, first I try to understand the history, that his background. Okay, very calm from what he does, and wherever like we know .NET. Okay, we can drill those person into .NET also. We know Java, and then we can ask on Java also. And if he actually has done a good thing, okay, he's going to explain in a very good way. And we being a technical guy, we can understand whether he's a technical person or not, right? So why to set a benchmark saying that okay, have you done this? Because he hasn't done it, and he hasn't done it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for API, not all the companies might be indulging into API. They might be doing much into automations only, okay, or they might be doing that with the journeys, isn't it? So this benchmark, like why I'm saying this is, recently one of my connection, the person reached out to me, and the person was trying to give an interview, and the person actually wanted to change. Maybe there is some her that person's something there with her maybe personal or in office life. So the person was trying to give an interview, and uh, the person, I got a uh, I got a ping with a PDF file.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And I saw they are asking to build a use case. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
seen case one and case two. I said this is sheer stupidity of taking an interview. So if I, let's say, if somebody reaches out, if the person is really that is in real need of a job, okay, real need of a job, and let's say I understood that okay, the person needs this job, and I design the use case. Okay, I design for the full presentation and give it to that person. Okay, so how you're making a benchmark, deciding that okay, the person can memorize and explain to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So it is a good judgment of judging a candidate. Okay, whether the person that you want to accept is good or bad. So this is giving me it's not happening for me for the first time. Okay, more than five people. I don't basically do this all this thing and help them out. If they have specific questions, I tell them okay, here what you can do. Okay, this can do that I can explain them. Hmm. But giving them some taste or giving them some use case to design, I don't know how this the interview process is now taking a toll on all these candidates.
Well, it's all, as you said, right? It's all person to person, the company to company. Okay. So
Mhm.
if we have a requirement where we need someone which is really good guy, which satisfies out of my 10 tasks, if he know at least 4 or 3 tasks or 5 tasks, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Mhm.
Right. So if a person, I will get to know if the person has really have a hands-on experience, or if the person, because some of the people put a experience about 10 years, right?
Mhm.
And then when we ask a basic questions about, so that's where it will get an impact. Okay, this guy
Yeah.
has never been worked on certain elements. I think there's no point to spend too much time on this interview process. Let's get that done in next 5 minutes or something, right?
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
where there are so many so many stuff, so many use cases, because when I done more than plenty of interviews with my career, so I know people really, with high level people, freshers, mid level people.
Mhm.
So there are a weight of different kind of categories. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I have been into the both side of the interview. Okay,
Hmm.
taking
Hmm.
an interview and giving an interview. Hmm.
Hmm.
So what I see when I take an interview, for me it's a simple fact. Okay, how you're basically explaining to me, be it
Hmm.
any use case. Like
Yeah.
if you tell me about AWS also, I'm going to listen it very carefully, and where I can caught you, I can caught you. Okay,
Hmm.
a person cannot simply bluff. If the person has actually implemented in a project, the person is going to tell you like a story, right?
Yes.
So I did this, I failed, I got this issue, and I troubleshooted this. This was the fix, and all the stories will be there. It will be more like a story. It's not more like a definition, giving a definition or giving some, some rehearsed answers, right? And the other side of the coin, I'm going to tell you, when I go for an interview, okay, the other person who is taking an interview, what I feel is, see, I judge the person who is taking my interview, okay, and I say, okay, he doesn't know. And most of the time it happened with me. Okay, the other person feels like he is very competent, but he's not. And they're asking, they're maybe googling somewhere, or they're pulling all those questions from Google, and they're asking and trying to get an answer. And somebody, what they do also do is, they are in their project, they are facing an issue. Okay, now they are looking for solution and they are not getting a solution. They ask to the person whom they are interviewing. So this should not be an objective, right? The objective person is to basically, you need to understand, I have this requirement for this project where this person has to fit in, and you basically judge the person based on their requirement. You're taking as a person as a developer, so treat the person as a developer. If you're taking as a senior developer, treat the you should not ask the same question to a developer, architect, and a senior developer, right? So those people who are taking an interview, they should also keep in mind. That's why that's why what you said. Some people writing in the CV 10 years, okay, and telling, I have worked on this. This is blah blah blah. Why they're doing, because they have also come to know that the person who is interviewing, they are also not competent enough.
Okay.
Right. So, the other person, the person who is sitting on the other side of the chair, he's not competent. The person who is giving interview, the person is also not competent. So now it's only about your, whether you like the person, the conversation you like or not. Based on that, you are basically recruiting. Hmm. Not on the technical aspects and what the requirement aspects. So, uh, I don't know where I'm going, but yeah, this is my experience with till now. Okay, so
Yeah.
both side has to,
Yeah.
both side has to basically balance themselves. Yeah, I know a lot of fake CVs. I know, and when we go and take an interview, okay, the CV looks so beautiful. Okay, so pictorial representation and everything will be there with this, that certification, like a heart shaped certification. So, but when we ask the question, all the fuzzy things happen there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think I want to continue with same discussion with the Salesforce new people who wants to join Salesforce, or new people who are interested in Salesforce in marketing cloud. Okay, now if you want to advise, let's say I am take me, okay, take me as a new person who is very new to marketing cloud, who is getting interested, he's listening all this news and all, okay, has been connected to few peoples, and he saw that his friends are doing very good in marketing cloud, and with that gist, I also want to come to marketing cloud. Okay, I want to learn. I don't have any org, I don't have anything, I can watch few YouTube videos. Okay, but I want to learn more. So, what is the advice for me?
Okay. So when you want to start a career in marketing cloud, I would strongly preferable to first look at the number one platform. What I would suggest everyone, that let's go to the trailhead, and then let's open
Mhm.
an account, and then the marketing cloud, with all the modules. Just find out the marketing cloud module. What is marketing cloud? What is an underlying principle? So you'll get a lot of modules about marketing cloud, and not only for marketing cloud, you'll get to know the what are all the marketing cloud personas does. So there are plenty of modules available. So number one, I would suggest is to, because as you said, it's a functional, you can't get out to practice. So number one is to start with the trailhead, and let's start learning each and every module, and then relay those modules with your day-to-day lifetime scenarios. Like, so marketing cloud, you understand why marketing cloud, what channels available, and you do shopping, you're getting messages, you're sending an email. When you do bank transaction, you're getting a message, you're getting an email. Monthly statements, yearly statements, or you're getting a lot of transactional statuses, emails, and all. So relate those activities with what you're studying in trailhead. That is the number one. The number two is, again, there are some lot of journey to Salesforce activities are going to be happening. So let's find out, is there any boot camps have been conducting by any nearest Trailblazer community guys. Let's try to join that boot camps and then learn something as much as you can, and then ask questions. And then if you feel, don't look that you're there are so many people, and then if I ask a question, whether they'll think that in a different way, but don't think that in a way. So ask whatever question it is, what is dumb questions or whatever it is. People really help you a lot. So that is number one. Two thing. Number three thing is something, especially when you look at Salesforce. Salesforce provides a free marketing cloud boot camps, a kind of a 3 day series for email specialist boot camp or email admin kind of a boot camp. So there are certain boot camps available where you can go and then register yourself, and then you can start learning it. And that is one way as well. The other way is especially on uh, look at some of the use cases, because nowadays Trailhead also launches projects, so you can see some of the projects also in Marketing Cloud where you can go and then try to learn from that. That is one of the best
Yeah.
area to go and then learn. That gives a lot of momentum and experience for you to take a challenges with the interviews. And after that, find a right mentor. So if you feel any person who's really a good mentor, you can chat with them, connect with them in LinkedIn, and then find out, schedule a one-on-one call with them and ask him what is the best way to apply for a jobs. Look at the CVs, review the CVs with them, and then
Mm.
help that mentor will definitely help you out to refine your job search opportunities, making your CV which is a little vibrant, and based on what you have learned, he'll make your CV which is a little vibrant. And then you can start applying, and then ask mentor to take some more interviews or help your friends who are already part of Marketing Cloud. So ask your friends to, if he has a orgs, ask him to give some demos on the orgs, and if you feel he's a really good friend, he'll give you a training org to go and then play around it. And if your friend also Marketing Cloud already joined, I think sit with them, discuss with them their internal use cases of the project, and discuss with them what else we need to observe from the Marketing Cloud. uh, so this is what I would recommend for a person who want to start their career in Marketing Cloud.
I liked it. And yeah, just to add here, yeah, the first thing is everybody should basically go to Trailhead. That is a must.
Yeah.
So the second pain point area which they say is basically they don't have the developer org. Okay,
Yeah.
so what they can do is obviously recently was there was some they gave a discount and $75 they can get a org also. Okay, to practice.
Right.
So if they are really interested, yeah, they can do it, and they can, now slowly, the Salesforce is opening the Marketing Cloud org also with some price. Okay, and what they can also do is, yeah, for my first second conversation that happened was with Josna. Hmm. And during the conversation I was actually doing some, and nowadays I sometimes what my this I don't know what happens with me inside my brain. Okay, something goes on, keeps on going. So maybe with when I did with Om, okay, he is a very good person, and he was explaining in a very good way. Okay, so I was trying to capture some highlights and actually because not everybody nowadays are interested looking into a conversation which is going 1 hour, 2 hour. Hmm. So I thought, okay, let me put some highlight and let people first grab it, and once they get interested, those are interested, they will go. Hmm.
Hmm.
So then I thought, like, I didn't do this with Josna, but it was a very interesting discussion for me. One of the best discussion that I had with me. Okay, so when I was highlighting, when I was doing this, I actually posted this today in LinkedIn. Hmm. Uh, she said like before boot camp. Okay, when she came before the boot camp, when she started doing this, there was her friend who was a housewife. Okay, and she wanted to learn. She saw her friend, they are doing excellent job, right? And she got that curiosity, and she said, I also want to learn. Is it, can I do it? Okay, so she taught her under the tree. They used to go sit down under the tree. Okay, and she groomed the person, and now she is in IBM. Okay,
Yep.
so what happens is, from that, if you listen to Josna's episode, okay, so I can simply say is, if you're really interested, okay, you can ask your friend to teach you, and your friend is definitely going to teach you, and you can make connections, right?
Yep.
And you start making connections. And the best thing what you can do is, with this recently what I see, the Gilda giving this Salesforce goal. and they basically declare the winners also. Okay,
Yeah.
and I was looking through the winners. What they are doing is, yes, yeah, they are posting articles on Salesforce. Okay, make small PPTs or small. I don't know how they are doing it, but they're doing it excellently. So what happens is, once you enroll to those kind of program, hmm, now you will be like every day you'll be like, okay, I need to post. When you have the mindset to post, you have to learn. Okay, so the learning approach, then you will be interested, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't posted for 3 days. No, I need to learn something, I need to post, right? So that mindset of learning, that how it arises in people,
Yeah. That's true.
right? So yeah, so this is a very good advice. I'll I'll ask last question to you, okay, and
Huh?
then I'll stop this. And
Yes.
uh yeah, so the last question for you will be, hmm, where do you want to see yourself in coming 10 days, 10 years, sorry, not 10 days, 10 years.
Okay, 10 years. So I'm doing pretty good now. So I would like to see myself in next 10 years would be a director for a company. Yeah,
Hmm.
a director for a company. And
Okay.
then as much as I can. So I've been mentoring for a lot of students and a lot of mentees from the Trailblazer mentorship program. Um,
Hmm.
I'm helping university students in Singapore, the Polytechnic and IT students in Singapore. So as
Hmm.
much as what I can afford, I can put my efforts to teach them on Salesforce and then or any other platforms who are really interested to become to start their career in IT, and would like to do as much as I can with Trailblazer. So as I'm a Trailblazer, I'll do what I can get from Trailblazer as well. Uh,
Hmm.
Along with this, I think yeah, so I can see myself as a good leader, and I want to become a leader, and I want to make or bring a lot of leaders like me into the community. And yeah, I would like to see more leaders, and I would like to see more people to participate all the events, and then be a trailblazer and help the community for our growth. Yes.
Yeah. All the best to you, Pani. And my last, uh, from my side of feedback to you. Okay,
Sure.
you have been contributing a lot. Okay, and you are being appreciated a lot, and people are looking up to you. And the way the conversation has happened with me. Okay, I came to know a lot about you. Okay, and your love for your sister. Hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll say, uh, thinking about all the other sisters, okay, there in India, okay, maybe try to contribute for them, okay, like impart some uh, education at the school level or college level. So at
Yes.
least with marketing cloud or sales cloud, some
Yes.
way try to connect with them
Yes.
and try to help them. I think that will be much appreciated from you.
Yeah, because see, I would like to say one word for all the women across the older global, where I would like love to see every woman like an independent woman.
Mhm.
Like irrespective, I don't want any woman to be a dependent with any other father or a friend or a husband. So I love my wife, and because I would love, because I, the first question, because we are arranged marriage, and I ask a question to her like I would like to be an independent funny. She said yes, and I said yes, because I would love to see a
Mhm.
person to be independent, to work and to contribute. I mean, to contribute to your family, because if she works, it will come to your family only.
Mhm.
So if anything happens, also she will be the one who will taking care of your family as well, right? So I want
Mhm.
to see every woman to be independent, to learn. Don't stop education. So we're all with you guys. So any help required, of course, we're all there to support on any way. Right. So that's what I
Mhm.
would like to. Yeah, my final statement.
Yeah, give my regards and hi to your wife.
Sure, sure, sure.
And say, a brother from Barcelona said hi to him, hi to
Definitely.
her. Okay. So I'll stop this recording now.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you so much for coming to my conversation, and thank you once again is like having the second part of the conversation. So my objective now today, I was able to satisfy, like, okay, now I made the conversation to this point
Great.
where you gave a suggestion. If without a suggestion, I'll never going to leave someone. Somebody says I'm very busy, or say, okay, no problem. After 1 month also, I'll bring him here and ask him first, give all the suggestion, then only you can go. Yeah,
Sure.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Shashi. Thank you for
Uh,
your time. And I'll ask last question if you can stop recording.
okay, let me stop.